Hello viewers, an attempt to keep the audience spectrum pretty broad on my channel. I am going to start uploading some more computer videos. Well, more. I haven't really uploaded any of them in the past, but it's been a hobby of mine for quite some time, so I figured I would start making some videos on it. First video in this series of videos on this gateway computer is going to be looking at it in its current state, which it has Windows 2000 on it. Bit of a background on this computer. I got this about a year or two ago, and it had a Windows 98 on it, and it had somebody else's stuff on there, so I reformatted it before I was going to use it for anything. And the oldest version of Windows that I had on hand at the time was Windows 2000, so that is what I put on. Here on the bottom we have the information tag. First off, let's note this: assembled in the USA. This is a very uncommon thing to see on computers, because even in the earlier times, computers were always a very heavily imported device. Take a look at the model number here. This is a Solo 2500. There is also a Solo 2700, although I'm not really familiar with the difference. I'm assuming the 2700 was probably a little bit better than this. I think I actually have the original instruction manual for this somewhere. Let me take a look and see if I can find it. Actually, I see it right there. Using your Gateway 600 notebook. I know, it's just not really a Gateway 600, but that's what it came with. Okay, here's the manual. Now that I'm looking a little bit closer, although I was given this manual with the computer and I was told that it comes with the computer, this is for a Gateway 600 notebook, and if you begin to look at the some of the illustrations that we have in here, it is not exactly the same. Turn this computer around here. In fact, it is remotely very different. So, yeah, I guess there's really no point in showing this literature in this video, but this has a lot of interesting articles on using Windows in and of itself, as well as other interesting things, so I'm sure this will be interesting to somebody else, so I will make a video of that on its own. Now back to the computer. I believe this to be from 1998, partially because we have this date code over here, or I'm assuming it's a date code of January of 98, and also because when I received it, it had Windows 98 on it. So let's open it up here and take a closer look at the internals of it. It's actually in very good condition. We have the Intel Inside sticker here with a Pentium 2. And there's the Gateway logo. This has no pointing stick, which is rather uncharacteristic for portables of this age. You have two speakers there, which is really poorly designed, because as you're sitting here typing, you cover that with your arm. It has a Linksys wireless cord, which I put in there. I also have the dock that came with this computer, but it is upstairs. I will show that later on. Now, I'm going to be upgrading this to Windows XP because, quite frankly, Windows 2000 has become rather useless more recently for the things I want to use it with. As much as I like Windows 2000, the internet is just really not accessible on it anymore because there's no modern browsers for it, and a lot of websites do not work properly with the older browsers available. That having been said, I'm going to be upgrading it to Windows XP to make it more functional, but before I do so, I figured I might as well make a video showing it running with Windows 2000. Unfortunately, the furnace is running. That's certainly unfortunate, but it's making a lot of noise, so we're not going to be able to hear the interesting hard drive sounds that this thing emits. Here's a look at the specs. We see this is a 336 MHz Pentium 2. I believe this has 2 megabytes of video RAM, but we'll take a look at that when it gets going. I believe the minimum requirement for Windows XP is somewhere around 250 megabytes, 250 megahertz of processor speed, and the recommended is 300 megahertz. So this clocking in at 366 megahertz should be able to run it without any compatibility issues. How the performance will be, though, is a whole other story. If, in fact, the Windows XP does not run, acceptably, then it will likely go back to Windows 2000. While that's starting up, we can take a look down here at this bar. This has a variety of different icons. On the left we can see the battery icon. In the middle we have the hard drive icon. And over here it'll show different things like the floppy disk drive, CD drive, docking station, etc. While this loads up, I'm going to get my tripod out so I don't have to keep holding the camera so I can operate the computer. Okay, it's loaded up to the login screen. You can tell this is dated when it has the option of login using dial-up connections. I'm going to go ahead and log in here and we can take a closer look. I'm going to turn up the volume a bit so we can get that sound. Fantastic audio quality on this computer. And now we wait for the desktop to load up, which takes about 2 years. Now we have icons, and we have backgrounds. Now we gotta wait for the internet thingamabob to initialize over here. As soon as that thing turns blue, there it goes. Okay. So, what should we do here? Let's open the Start menu up. Let's take a look at the control panel. Sure looks a fair bit different from what we have now. It's good old malicious software removal tool. That was never a very useful feature. Let's see, look at the graphics properties on this thing. Now let's try that again. Oh good, now the furnace turned off, we'll be able to hear this. That's what we can do. Let's look at some of these classic Opengl screensavers. And the telephone's ringing. Okay, and we're back. Let's look at some more of these screensavers. This one is still around the WinXP, but this is a little bit different variation of it. This one is pretty iconic. Seems to be locked up here. What's going on? Whoa. There it goes. And what else do we have? Oh, the focus is all screwed up here. Let's see if I can lock the focus on this. There it goes. Okay, that's better. Okay. I think that's about all. Yeah, that's all the Opengl screensavers that it has. Yeah, these are all just typical Windows screensavers. That's another one that's stuck around through Windows XP too. Okay, what are we gonna do here? Let's look at some settings. So we have a resolution of 1024 by 768, and we have, whoops, we have 16-bit colors. I think that's as high as it'll let me go. Yep. Let's look at some advanced settings here. We have a Magic Graph 128XD. That's not something that's been around for a while. Or rather, that has been around for quite some time. I haven't seen it recently. That must have gone out of business a while ago. 2 megabytes of video RAM. Let's see if there's anything else of interest in here. Yep, 1999 is the last driver release. Interestingly enough, it's got 75 Hz refresh rate. Let's see, I don't know if any of these images are necessarily as iconic as the screensavers are. I don't think so. Oops. I guess this one is kind of iconic. Let's see here. Let's look at the computer specs itself. We have 228,896 kilobytes of RAM, which is kind of an odd size. That's a little strange. Doesn't list the excuse me, doesn't list the processor type. Oh, anyways, let's try doing some stuff on the internet here. Hopefully the furnace will shut off soon so we can hear the hard drive. And please excuse the video problems here as I attempt to adjust my video holder thing. Okay, that's pretty good. Alright, let's go to a website. Let's go to Google. And we have a spring. Let's see here. Let's try to go to something like YouTube. Oops. This is the problem I always run into. Nothing is compatible any longer with these older browsers. And we can't play any videos on here. It's just not powerful enough, but we can certainly take a look at the home page if it ever loads up. See, it looks quite strange on here. It doesn't ever quite render properly. Let's see, what else should we go to here? Let's try and go on to eBay. Still loading. As you can see, it takes quite a while, but it is usable. Uh-oh, we have a non-responding program. Okay, and just for old time's sake, let's do this. That is a very strange glitch I have with this software, and that is the fact that it typically screws up my wireless network adapter when I open this. So I'm going to have to fidget around with this thing for a little while before I can get it to actually work. Interestingly enough, it hasn't dropped out yet, but I'm sure it will in a few seconds. Yep, there it goes. Generally, the procedure now is to open this and play with this garbage until it starts working again. Yeah, I think just for time reason, I'm going to cancel out and then we'll launch it up again. I'm going to pause this while I get this to work again. Okay, that's working again. I'll go ahead and sign in here.
Welcome. You've got mail.
Ugh. They put more and more ads on this thing every time I open it. Let's see what mail I got. It's probably all garbage. Yep, it's all garbage. Oh, the classic sound. Alright, let's get out of here.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Speaking of sounds, let's listen to some of the sounds that we have on this thing. No updates. Okay, where's the sounds? There it is. That's actually a stereo sound, which is kind of interesting. Yeah, the speakers on this computer are not the greatest. I guess everything is that sound. I think that's my favorite Windows startup sound. Then we have some AOL sounds.
File's done. File's done. File's done. Goodbye. 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 Welcome. 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 You've got pictures.
Oh, we got pictures. Never heard that one before.
You've got pictures. You've got pictures. You've got pictures. You've got voicemail. You've got voicemail. You've got voicemail. You've got mail. You've got mail. You've got mail.
That's obnoxiously loud. That also sounds like it's a stereo sound. That may be too. Okay, I think that's all the sounds that we have. I think that's pretty much all to see on here for now. I am going to install Windows 2000 on another computer that I have when the time comes about. But for now, I think that's going to be it on here. Let me see if I can get a close-up of the hard drive. And I don't remember which side it's on. I think it's over here. I'll load up a program, see if you can hear it. Hopefully you can hear that. Okay, so I'm going to switch this off now. Oh, now the Firefox decided it wants to open. Hopefully you're able to hear that hard drive spin down even though the furnace was on. Okay, this is my lovely tripod if you're wondering why I have so many difficulties with the recording, and that is why, because I'm using a rigged piece of wire. So, as far as software goes, let's see what we have here. I'm going to be putting Windows XP on it, and this is Service Pack 2 revision, but I have Service Pack 3 upstairs. I'm going to be putting Office 2000 on it, because it takes up less space than Office 03. Printer driver, wireless card driver, and of course AOL. This is a free trial which I believe came with one of my Dell machines. So I'm going to try and get some of that installed tonight. And yeah, I'll make another video of it once I get Windows XP on it. So thank you for watching. Hopefully some of you computer enthusiasts out there enjoy this video. Over and out.